Welcome back to the channel, guys. Here with the definitive guide to fixing your hook, looking at what could be happening through impact with the body that could cause you to hit a hook shot or a shot that starts left, goes left for a right-handed player. If I'm looking at, so first, conceptually, are you doing what you think you need to do? Do those concepts match what the ball is going to react to correctly? That's sort of step one, concepts. Step two, making sure you're doing something that physically you can do. So does it match how you move? And then three is, are the drills specific for you, and are you able to, work on them over a long period of time to master them to help you play better? That's really important, I think, when it comes to getting better at golf. So for this, coming through impact, looking at the lead hip here, okay? So when we're looking at the lead hip, we're looking at what kind of range. So this would be internal, okay? So turning into the lead hip, there's lots of factors. How's my foot? How's my tibia? How's my hip? All the way sort of up the chain, that's gonna factor into how I'm moving through impact, okay? But if I keep it real simple for you, if I go to turn, so if I'm going to exaggerate an end range. So if I hit end range of my lead hip here coming into impact, okay? So this is me turning my toe in, which makes me go more internal rotation in this lead hip. So when I turn that toe in, if I get to there, so that's me hitting end range of my lead hip into impact, okay? So if that happens, then I just sort of mimic what my reaction would be if that was the case. So everyone reacts a little different, but this is just, if I'm not able to do much from here, if I hit end range, so my hips have stopped. So when my hips stop, the club is going to go past me, okay? So the club is always going to go past you. That's important. But if I hit end range too quick and the club goes past me too early, you could imagine, so I'll just exaggerate, front toe in, club's going to go past me too early. I'm exaggerating. You see how restricted I looked at there. So if I can't swing through, you see how it sort of hits this end range, and then that club comes flying by me, and then that face ends up hooding and then pointing way left to target pre-impact, okay? So that's where the hook is based on really or a limited internal lead hip, okay? So if we're looking at what solutions could we possibly have? So I've seen some players where if they're able to create enough sort of force through that foot, the foot's gonna actually spin open when they're hitting it or move backwards a little bit. I would try to do it where you can let the foot pivot, right? So think about if this is dead straight and I can let it get to here. Well, I picked up about 40 degrees of rotation through my pelvis, so I don't hit that end range, right? So you're gonna see lots of guys on tour as they're coming through, that lead foot is gonna be pivoting because there's a lot of things reacting, but they're also, when I do that, that doesn't let me, my pelvis isn't gonna stop as quickly, okay? And it's still slowing down, but it's not hitting end range and then the club go flying by me. So if I picture that, okay? So I'm going up, this one, when I come through, I'm gonna let the foot sort of move with me as I come through. So when I do that, I really feel like my body can continue to unwind. Obviously the club needs to be in a good position. The face needs to be in a good position, but if those are the cases, and I do a little bit more of that, that's gonna free up my rotation through. Another way to look at this is if I start with my foot maybe slightly more open, if I'm still able to turn into my backswing, well, I've sort of preset it a bit, so now the amount of spin is a little bit less, okay? Or, as I'm coming through, I could even have it a little bit more open, and then that's gonna even give me a little bit more room to come through. So lots of factors there. Those are things to experiment with. Foot position, and then how much through impact am I letting my foot rotate through. If you're really limited in your internal hip rotation and you need that foot to spin, so I use these Vivo shoes. They're the trail ones, so they have a good amount of grip, but they're not spiked. So when I I feel grip, but I can also still let that foot spin. That's gonna free up some rotation in that hip. I still feel connected with the ground, so it's not limiting in that way, but it also lets me free up and let my pivot continue through impact. Hope that helps you guys. Hope that helps you hit better shots, play around with that foot position, and then how it moves through impact.